Yo, welcome back to 69th Base. I'm your host, Doug Mellard. This is the podcast where I rip apart idiots like Skip Bayless and other dumb sports pundits that don't know what the hell they're talking about. We're going to have a lot of fun with that today. I'm going to be very angry, very upset about a lot of dumb shit that comes out of these clowns' mouths. Sometimes I worry myself about like how angry I can get about it, and that I'm just going to end up real bitter and weird like Skip Bayless himself. I'm going to become the thing I hate, and I don't want that to happen. We're going to get into Stephen A. Smith's weird boxing injury. What was that? We're going to talk about Stephen A. Smith, Michael Irvin going toe-to-toe. Also confusing. Very, very confusing. We're going to talk about something that really upset Will Cain that I thought was hilarious. A little bit on Tom Brady and Skip Bayless's obsession. We're going to get into some really weird other fan fiction-y type stuff about these guys. It's going to be fun. And we got a very, very special guest, so it's going to be a good show. I'm glad to have you guys back. Thanks for tuning in so far. Just a few episodes deep. And at the top of the show, I like to always kind of like get you into my world a little bit. And I would love to tell you guys a really revealing story about myself and about my fandom with the Dallas Cowboys. I think like the two previous episodes, I kind of laid it out that I am, this huge Cowboys fan, but I also understand you either love or you hate the Cowboys. But idiots like Will Cain, and Skip Bayless do put targets on our backs, Cowboys fans. They make us look dumb. And Cowboys fans are easy to pick on, but like I mentioned very heavily the last episode, I am a realistic Cowboys fan, and B, I'm born into it. Okay, I'm from Texas, and it's in my blood. My grandfather's a fan, my dad was a fan, I am a fan, and this story is going to reveal how deeply that goes. And by the way, so I'm a comedian. I've been doing comedy forever. This story was just told to me by my mother very recently, and I was like blown away. Whenever someone close to me tells me a story that's like ridiculous, I'm like, I tell jokes, right? Like, you could have told me this a long time ago. I could have used it in some fashions. But anyway, it's come to my attention that apparently, growing up, my dad was atheist. Like, he did not believe in God. And my mother was worried about that, but she was the type to not push it onto him. She didn't want to force it on him. She wanted him to like find his way, instead of just forcing it upon him. Anyway, so I have two brothers. I am the middle child. My older brother was born. My mom feels a little weird that he still hasn't found God or whatever. And so she begs him, please, come on over and find God with me, right? And then he still doesn't. He just doesn't believe, not a Christian. And then, I'm born. She kind of gets a little stressed out about it again. She really wants him to join her. Pushes on him a little bit, not too crazy. Nothing. And then, my younger brother is born. Same thing. They go through it all again. Nope, nothing. She cannot get him. That's that, And, she's a little worried about it, a little stressed about it. Then one night, my dad is up, stressed out, late at night, and he can't sleep. And my mom said it was very unlike him. He wasn't one to, like, stay up and stress about anything, but there he was, very stressed out. And because he couldn't sleep, he's just watching TV late at night. And on the television comes Tom Landry in like an infomercial about the Bible. Next morning, my dad is a devout Christian. Tom Landry made my dad find God. Not my own mother, not his family. Tom Landry. The Dallas Cowboys are the reason my dad has found God. So, I don't know. Maybe that's some insight on why I like the Cowboys so much. So don't shit on me too much about that, okay? It's, it runs deep. Oh, man. I'm so glad she told me that story, and I hope he's okay with me spreading that. Anywho, let's get into my weekly up top rant, which is there's this ongoing thing that Skip Bayless will bring up all the time. He used to bring it up on his old show from time to time, and he brings it up on his new show from time to time, and it's baffling. Like, I don't understand what the point of it is. It feels like he's just putting himself up on a pedestal. I just think the guy's ego is out of control. I think he thinks a lot of himself. And this is what he'll say. He'll be talking about an athlete like Michael Jordan or someone, somebody that's really great at something. Somebody that's very dedicated to something. And he'll kind of slide himself in there and say stuff about dedication, and he'll speak upon the first time he was on a date with his wife, Ernestine, who I thought, again, was a fake person that they used to soften his image for years. But it sounds like she might actually exist. But he says on their first date, he told her she was going to have to be 1A to his job because that's how dedicated he is, He's super dedicated. To what? What are you saying? I don't understand it. He's basically just saying hey, wife, if I'm going to ignore you a lot just so I can yell dumb shit to nobody. And people are going to hate me. I'm going to just say a bunch of dumb shit on television and everyone's going to hate me. And you're going to have to be second fiddle to that. And I hope you can be on board. What? What is that? How is she okay with that? What is she doing? And it seems like he's putting himself in the category of these people. He's comparing himself to these athletes that work hard, that get so far in their sport, these very elite athletes. And he's acting well, I'm this dedicated to my job, just in the same way they are to theirs. But it's but Michael Jordan built an empire, and everybody kids worshipped him. Kids wanted to be him. No one wants to be Skip Bayless. Nobody. I promise you that. He even on his Instagram, he'll post pictures of his clock at 2 a.m. when he's getting up, and it feels like he's bragging about it. 2 a.m. This is how dedicated I am, and I'm gonna go run on the treadmill for an hour before I go to work, get prepped, and it's yeah, well, your show starts super early. That's just your new schedule. You probably go to bed at 3 p.m. It's just, it is what it is. People have different hours. Getting up at 2 a.m. doesn't mean you're getting up hours before everyone to do something unique. You're just going to do your dumb thing. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. And I mean, anyone can do it. He just is shallow enough to do it as well as he does. And by well, I mean ridiculous. He's an idiot. He's a joke. He's not respected, and he's not relevant. And I think he thinks people do look up to him, and people think that his opinion matters when really it doesn't. So that's my big rant of the week. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm going to have my guest weigh in on that a little bit when he comes on here in a little bit. So going to take a break now and get back shortly. Yo, I am back with my guest. I'm very excited about this. My main man, Josh Potter. Welcome, Josh Potter, everybody.
What's up?
You may know his work from the wonderful things he's doing on Your Mom's House with Tommy Buns and Christina P. Man, you really have been doing some really...
it's been fun. I've been putting forth some effort. The recent thing is that intro song.
Yeah,
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
That literally took me 5 minutes. So I feel kind of like I cheated the world.
It was so funny, though. Well, you also did some great broadcast journalism.
With Robert Paul Champagne.
Yeah.
Thank you. I think
everybody has appreciated that. The feedback is fantastic.
It's been wonderful.
You got to ask some of the hard questions and get to the
heart of the man.
Yeah.
That's the best part. Now we know who he is.
It was so good. You can check that out. Home Here Now. What is it? Robert Paul Champagne Home Here Now?
I think so. Yeah. It's on the Your Mom's House YouTube channel. You can find it. So it's up there with all the rest of the stuff. There's gonna be some fun stuff coming out on there too, by the way. So keep your eyes peeled.
And you've also got like a really. Why do I keep saying fantastic? That's like my go-to word.
That's a good word. Fantastic's not a bad word.
You ever get a word just stuck in your head? I don't know what's wrong with me.
Yeah, I have one of those. I forget. I just had one where I just listened to myself and I was like, God, stop saying that, you fucking idiot. God. Epic, I think, is mine, probably.
Yeah, Epic's pretty great. You've been doing some epic stuff there. And one of the things, they've got the whole campaign to make you come.
Yeah.
How's that? What's the latest on that?
It's been a lot of fun.
And if you can't reveal anything,
I can reveal whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been a lot of fun trying to come.
Yeah.
With various women. I've had like record weeks in my life, and it's been just fantastic.
And I guess to set this up real quickly, you can't come.
That's
the whole thing.
Yeah, like I can stay erect. I can commit to having sex, but then like I just don't ever finish unless I do it myself, you know? So
right. That's fantastic. I'm just going to keep saying fantastic.
Tom is perplexed by that.
Yeah.
Even though it's kind of common, but he's
Is it common? I hadn't heard it till you as well.
I guess if you're on this end of the coin, it's common, but like because you hear about other people about it.
Oh, right.
And Dr. Drew said, like a lot of people suffer from that. Just as many suffer from like the inverse, which is like premature ejaculation. You know, you hear more about that one.
Right.
And so Tom is more on that end of the spectrum. So he's like fascinated by my lack of coming. And now he's put the call out. And hey, I'll take all of that. I'll take all the challenge-ready women who are ready to
and
give it a whirl.
Just
it's been fun.
And because the people listening can't see this, just know that I am jerking him off the entire podcast, just making a go of it. Just going to see if it happens. So I just got to ask you straight out of the gates. I mean, we talked about this off air or whatever, but how. Well, great. This is my first time recording at home.
I heard the dog outside bark, and I thought it would do something.
I mean, this might be edited out, but our dog Penny, who is the best, she has an enemy downstairs. This dog Luna, that is the worst fucking dog on the planet, and
sounds it. That bark was very alarming.
I'm surprised you haven't heard it the whole time you've been here, but. She has attacked Penny. She's about 1/10 of the size, and every time she sees Penny, she comes running at her. They don't keep her on a leash.
That's terrible.
Penny is very cool about it. So every time she barks, my dog gets really upset. Anywho,
Penny's been chill the entire time.
Oh yeah, she's actually got 41,000 Instagram followers.
What?
Yeah. Oh, you didn't know this?
I did actually know that she had an account. I think I follow her, but I didn't know it was that like vast of a follow.
Yeah, it's 35 more than I have. And
is she the breadwinner of the household?
Yeah.
She has endorsements?
Yeah, a little bit.
God, we should have her on the podcast.
I know. Well, yeah, technically we just did.
Yeah, so there you go. Don't edit it out. How dare you? You got to get her to bark more.
At the luckiest penny. That's where you need to focus your attention on.
You got to get her to bark like at least twice an episode so you can sell those ads.
Yeah, she's people support dogs more than comedians, I think. It's what I've found out. I don't cry alone in bed at night sometimes. Why did I say alone? That sounds like I'm not married.
Wife, You're like,
oh yeah, Flynn's dead.
Yeah.
Anywho, what in the fuck was I even in the middle of talking about?
You were starting a thought, and I don't know what it was about.
Oh yeah. So anyway, we were talking about this like before we got on here, but how well do you're pretty familiar with Skip Bayless and all these sports pundits.
Love NFL football. See that Luna does not want us to talk about Skip Bayless.
Maybe she hates Skip Bayless.
I think this is a good point to talk about Skip Bayless. Penny barking.
Yeah.
This is how you pay the bills.
Penny
on the 69th base.
Literally, she has not barked once since Josh has been here.
Yeah, we've been here for a while, like having beers and hanging out.
The 2 times it's happened, it's been when we start to talk about Skip
Literally
Bayless.
about the getting into the crux of the podcast.
Yeah. So anyway, let's see where
Skip
this.
Bayless, yes. I mean, I love sports. I love football especially.
Yeah. Buffalo
and
Bills
I grew
fan.
up watching NFL football and then also like ESPN Sports Center and all of that, and it just kind of progressed. Obviously, ESPN progressed into, having these talking heads just blather on and on every day. And it stopped being highlights and then it started being like, clips for the internet, basically.
Yeah.
And so Skip Bayless was born and Stephen A. Smith and all the rest. Now they've branched out and they've created like sub genres of themselves. It's so weird.
It spawns so many of the same show. It's ridiculous.
But like there were shows like Around the Horn.
Yep.
That was always dope because it was like sports writers, just like Skip Bayless and Stephen A. Smith, I guess. Sports writers that would like have takes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it was like they'd be on a time limit and they'd get points,
Yeah. Woody Page though is such a freaking idiot. But
oh, dude, totally.
Yeah.
There's people that they're supposed to be villains on these shows.
Yeah. And we actually the first time we really hung out, I think, was after you were opening for Tom, and Tom was nice enough to throw me on at the Paramount in Austin.
Yeah.
And
I think I met you one time before that, but that was the first time we really hung out.
Yeah. And we just afterwards hung out for a bit and just talked sports shit all night.
Yeah, I got so drunk I almost missed my flight.
Yeah, we had some
Austin,
drinks.
I mean, it was my first time in Austin.
Austin's a great city for that. And we kind of bonded over some. You're a Bills fan.
Hell yeah.
But like me, you were supportive of Tony Romo. And
I love Tony Romo.
We went nuts over that. Yeah.
Many reasons.
God, he's the best, and he's still doing great.
He can't do no wrong in my opinion.
Yeah.
I love Tony Romo because I drafted him as a flyer, like second round in my fantasy football league. I have a quarterback heavy point system. I'm not going to get into it, but quarterbacks are a commodity. And I knew Tony Romo. Once Drew Bledsoe got hurt, I was like, Tony Romo, I picked him up off waivers. Next season, I was like, drafting him second round. I'm just going to take a flyer out on the guy.
Right.
And he just melted my face watching him. It was so much fun. He was the most fun. And people are like, Dallas beat you in 2 Super Bowls. I don't give a shit about the Super Bowl opponents because it's like the 2 titans of each side have come together and fought.
Right.
Like that's why everyone's like, aren't you mad the Giants beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, I'm happy about that. Like, I fucking hate the Patriots. They're in my division.
Yeah.
Why would I like them?
Yeah.
I fucking despise them. I want them to die. When Tom Brady jumped off that cliff and yanked his daughter's arm and pulled her in, I wanted CPS to take her away.
Dude,
I hate that man.
I saw that. Oh God, I hate him so much. I saw that and really, I don't know why he thought that was a good idea to post that. Like that was
because he's Tom Brady. He thought it was a good idea for Facebook to have a show about him where he can make out with his son.
Oh yeah,
and he was just like, yeah, I did that. And then everyone was like, that's weird. And he's like, I don't care. I'm Tom Brady.
I want to get your opinion on like a quick story, personal story. I always start up top about like a little personal story, get people thrown into my world for a second. But like, I feel like because I'm a Cowboys fan, I know that it's like an easy target. Like, even though you're a Bills fan, you seem cool with guys like me. But I am also a realistic Cowboys fan. I'm not just in everybody's face like, we're going to win every year. Like, I know we're not most of the time.
Right.
But I did not know this story until recently. My mom revealed that my dad was atheist, like, for all of his life. And then I have 2 brothers. My first brother was born. She was trying to push Christianity on him a little bit. Nothing. And then I was born. She was like worried, like we should be on the same side of this thing. Nothing. And then my younger brother was born. She's like getting nervous, but she doesn't want to like force it on him. But she's still just like a little nervous about it, and was like pushing on him a little bit more. Nothing again. And then one night, out of nowhere, he was like stressed, which he said was like unlike him, and he stayed up late. He's watching TV. Apparently, some infomercial about the Bible with Tom Landry came on. Next day, hardcore Christian.
Tom Landry.
Tom Landry is the reason my dad is a Christian.
It makes sense, dude. He was a coach for how long?
For 100 years.
Yeah, so long.
And yeah, like I don't think people. I think that's the main reason.
And they
like
won a bunch of Super Bowls with him and shit.
Yeah. Like I mean, we were dominant for a while. It was like us and the Steelers.
Yeah.
Like, but I think people don't realize, like, for a lot of people that grew up in Texas, there's a reason we are just like thrown into. I'm gonna get in the first like big rant about all these idiots, dude. Skip Bayless, you hate him. I hate him. He has this little thing that he brings out every once in a while, where he says that he'll bring this in relation to other athletes, as if he has any comparison at all to like Michael Jordan or whatnot, like in their dedication to their craft. He'll talk about God every time Skip Bayless.
It's a trigger word.
I kind of love it.
It's a
Penny,
trigger
you're
word.
a good girl. But every once in a while, he'll bring up like that on his first date with his wife Ernestine, which we talked about earlier, and I've talked about this before.
That's a gay name.
It sounds like a gay name, and it sounds like a made up person. I don't know. For a while, I thought it was a made up thing to make him like have a softer image. But he said on their first date, he told her she was going to have to be his 1A to like his job. And he was saying this in relation to, like, I have the same dedication that these elite athletes have to their jobs. And it's like, yeah, but they do cool stuff and people look up to them. You just say dumb shit and make up stupid rumors.
Yeah.
And everybody hates you. Like, what do you, like?
I understand the passion for that, wanting to be like, hey, Toots, you know, I love the game more than I like you. But at the same time, yeah, he's not really trying that hard. Seems all the
he
time.
also has like 3 topics. Like LeBron James sucks, Tom Brady is good.
It's just basically
I love
like,
the Cowboys.
what is the most popular opinion of something?
Yeah.
I'm going to do the opposite.
Yep.
And then I'm going to just bury that into the ground until I can convert so many people. X amount of people will convert with me. X amount of people will hate me royally.
Yeah.
And either way, I win. And that's all that he really does. There's
Yeah.
a formula to it. And that's what always pissed me off about these people is that, like, it's kind of like religion. Like, once you start, like, kind of going like, oh, I see what you're doing, you can just fucking stop watching. You don't need to, like, it doesn't affect you anymore. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
I
yeah.
don't hate anything that he does anymore. Like, he can say wild shit, and I'm just like, well, that's what he does.
Yeah.
I could have written that. Like, if you tell me a story that's a big storyline in the NFL right now, I'll write you Skip Bayless's opinion.
Yeah.
You know, I know what it's going to be. It's predictable to me at this point.
I really do think that he believes it, though, a little bit.
I don't think he believes anything. I think, well, here's the thing. I think he convinces himself of things. I don't think he necessarily believes things. I think he knows what's good for business.
Yeah.
And I think he knows, like, what's clickbaity.
Right.
And then he can then find reasons to validate his opinion
I
based off that.
see that, but I think he will then buy into it. Like, I think he does in the end. His ego is so
Well, like,
inflated.
okay, have you ever seen this new show on Showtime about Roger Ailes, the
Not
loudest
yet.
voice?
I've heard a lot
You gotta
of it.
watch
Yeah.
it because it's Skip Bayless to a T
Yeah.
from a macro level because it's like that with politics.
Right.
And I'm not going to get on a political thing, but it just shows you how they like know what's going to get viewership and then get ads, et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
And then they can validate those things not just for a profit reason. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They can find, then you start searching for
but
the reasons to agree with that. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Or believe that.
But it just sounds like, and I had talked about this with the previous guest, but it sounds like such a lonely existence because a lot of people are stupid and do buy in.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, you know, like, if you're going to say it, you're going to get yelled at. You know what I mean? Like, if you're attacking LeBron James,
Right.
James is a good dude. And it's weird, man. It's put me in a weird spot because, like, I love the Cowboys. I've started this podcast. It's, like, anti all these guys. But, like, he loves the Cowboys. But I fucking hate him. It's like, if they lose a game, I'm like, well, that's kind of good. Skip Bayless is having a bad day. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
But he's like a bad guy wrestler. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
There's
Stephen
really
A. Smith
no
for sure.
consequences in it. He's
Yeah.
not getting like
He's getting paid.
anthrax mailed to his house. He's getting paid a bunch of money. He's rich as fuck. He has his wife Ernestine, who like God knows how old that bird is, but like, geez Louise, like Ernestine, is she 95? I also think you were saying how he told her like you're 1A or whatever.
Yeah.
I think he is exploiting Ernestine on his Twitter because
Feels
every
like
now
it.
and then he'll heap a take onto Ernestine,
Right.
and it's like he's testing the waters. He's throwing it out on Twitter saying like Ernestine thinks that LeBron is this or that.
Wow, that's...
And then like he'll see what the likes and the replies are, and then he'll go on TV the next day and be like, own that take too, agree with it,
Yeah.
or he'll be like, Ernestine said this thing, and it's just to stoke the fire, you know?
That
So, like,
is
I feel
interesting.
like we need to check in on Ernestine, and we need to see if she's okay and happy, because I don't like this exploitation of her, you know?
That's this is all very valid. We are actually going to dive into that very deep later. I want to jump into. I don't know if I made you watch this clip earlier, but I don't know if you saw in the clip. But Stephen A. Smith had like a shoulder strap. Did you notice that at all?
I didn't. Was it like a holster? Or was
Yeah,
it like,
yeah.
Is his arm injured?
He injured himself boxing.
Okay.
Did you ever know? Like, this was all like
I mean,
news to me.
people that are rich work out in ways that we don't understand. They have like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
many
yeah.
rich people box because they think they're like, I don't know. It's like a form of meditation for them. I know
Yeah.
so many rich people that box. Dude.
Yeah.
Like, and it's like, why?
He
doesn't take any blows to the head, you know? He's
Yeah,
just punching
yeah.
a pad or something, or got a sparring partner.
he is like has a huge boxing background, so there is
Oh,
that.
I did not know that.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, like that's actually like one of his main things. But it was like this weird thing where like I just saw this story, like it popped up, like Stephen A. Smith injured boxing, and I was like, what the fuck? Like that's kind of the last person I would.
He's in New York, right? So
Yeah.
that's like a thing that people do there.
Yeah, but I think you're right. It's like a
rich
rich
people
thing.
thing,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. But that was shocking. But then, speaking of sparring and whatnot, I showed you the clip. He got into it with Michael Irvin, and that was people on Twitter and shit. Like it was trending today.
It's weird that it was trending because I didn't understand any of it.
Yeah, it was my whole thing. I didn't know what the fuck was going on. Like,
So I gathered that Stephen A. Smith sided with the Cowboys. I don't even know what the real. There's no siding with any because we don't know what their stance is yet, right? Like,
Right.
Obviously Zeke should have showed up to camp.
yeah,
That's what Cowboys are going to say.
Yeah, so
that.
the whole thing was, whose side are you on? Stephen A. Smith versus Michael Irvin in the Zeke. Sorry, I was gonna say Dak versus Zeke,
Yeah, yeah.
but it's just the Zeke contract
Zeke
thing.
versus Cowboys thing.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
should they have, is Zeke right for holding out versus should Zeke have showed up for camp? And of course, the Cowboys are going to have the stance. Zeke should have showed up for camp. That's
Yep.
like what
He's
they're
also-
supposed to say. I mean, how many times have we done this? It's
Right,
like
right,
we're
right.
all doing something that's like, ooh boy, but like this has happened how many times?
Yeah, but I'm with you in that.
It's always a running back, by the way.
I seriously, yeah. Wow, but
Or
they
a corner,
they do
or
have
a receiver.
running backs have the shittiest like contract
Well,
situation.
because they have like this fleeting value.
Yeah,
where
they
it's
have like an average of like 4 years.
Yeah, you don't know. They could the second they start to like not have the hot hand any longer, that's over for them. And then the next guy jumps in.
They have the shortest lifespan, so like they can get one extra contract.
In Buffalo right now, it's the biggest thing. Like, have we seen Shady McCoy's last snaps
right.
with the Bills?
Yeah.
Because they drafted Devin Singletary in the third round. We got Frank Gore.
Yeah, you guys got 10 guys in the
we got
backfield.
a bazillion dudes. Yeldon, TJ Yeldon's there. Yeah, I mean, so like, I don't know what's gonna happen in terms of that, but like in terms of like Zeke, this happened so many times.
Right.
He'll get a contract. They need him. You know what I mean? It's not Le'Veon Bell where it's like John Connor's sitting there. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
They got Alfred Morris. I guess I re-signed him. But so like they need to have. It's July. They need to have these drawn out conversations about it. like, will Zeke come back or whatever, and whose side should you be on? And the best two guys to do that are Stephen A. Smith and Michael Irvin, because they can fill a giant block of time saying the same thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I just recapped it for you in 4 seconds, basically.
Yeah.
And they're like...
Yeah. Stephen A. Smith was saying you got to pay the others. Zeke gets in trouble a lot. I get that. And then Dak is a priority. Don't really understand that. Kind of. But the whole thing didn't sound like that. They were just screaming. And
Michael Irvin at one point stood up in his chair and was like, I need to tell you that this is a thing. Blah, blah, blah. They're not saying any words. They're just saying all the words.
Yes, very fast. I thought Irvin was maybe going to fight him or the hostess.
Over Zeke's contract.
Yeah. I didn't quite get it. And people were like on Twitter, like, this is the best television. It's like, is it? Like, I don't know what I didn't know what the topic was.
I don't feel like it's genuine. Also, because I know, like, as soon as the camera's cut, they know they just did that.
Yeah, I feel like of all of these, like, buffoons, I've never said that word. Stephen A. Smith has bought, like, my guest David Huntsberger last week was saying, like, that Stephen A. Smith is the most WWE style kind of like.
Yeah.
He's owned it, which I actually kind of appreciate more than Skip Bayless, because he kind of bites down, like, he's still like really into it.
Well, I guess I don't know much about. Does Skip Bayless have a radio show also?
No, he's just on the show. He does like Facebook Live. This is another reason, like
I feel like Stephen A. Smith maximizes himself to the point where he's like, I'm just going to talk nonsense all day long. I have to talk from the day I woke up, and then he's got $1 bazillion. And he just like lives in a castle in New York City. I honestly
like him more than Skip Bayless by a lot.
Right,
like,
but it's none of it means... This is the thing that, like, eventually that I learned from these things is, like, it's not Stuart Scott where it's, like, fun to watch him, like, tell us about replays.
Yeah.
It's like this guy is giving an opinion that is going to try and rattle you. And if you're desensitized to it the way I guess I am at this point, he can't say anything that affects me, so all of it sounds like noise.
Yeah.
And he can talk on 9 different platforms for hours a day, and it's just noise. It sounds like, did you hear what Stephen A. Smith said? And I'm like, I really don't care, because I don't think he believes it. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
But whereas, like, Stuart Scott was, like, the man, or, like, Rich Eisen. Even I'll listen to Rich Eisen, like, talk about stuff, and he's at least, like, genuine. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's not just talking to talk.
And Stephen A. Smith, like... Well, he has that whole, like, catchphrase, stay off the weed. And it's like,
I think that's silly, because man, I say stay on it.
But weed is cool as shit, man. What are you doing? What are you doing? Like, I don't understand this. This is nonsense.
Aboard. I feel like that's where him and Skip would, like, come to a, like, on First Take, they would come to, like, a, or whatever they called that show, Pardon the Interruption. What did they call that fucking show that
Which
they were on?
Oh, First Take.
No, the Stephen A. Smith and Skip Bayless show.
Yeah, that was first. He was on First Take.
Right?
Yeah.
My bad. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No.
But yeah, I thought that they both would, like, eventually they'd be, like, yelling back and forth, and then all of a sudden weed would come up, and they'd be like, I agree, weed is stupid. And then they'd shake hands, and then I'd be like, oh, this is, like, the dumbest shit I've ever seen. I hate this show.
At one point that they brought up that I fucking got, Stephen A. Smith brought up, he was like, well, Zeke, like, as good as he is, like, he didn't bring them a ring. And it's like, well, Dak didn't either, and you're fighting for Dak. Like, what the fuck? Like,
Dak was a fourth-round pick. How much money is he going to make?
Yeah, like, it's proven, like, when Zeke sits it, like, when he's out, we fucking lose. So, like, it infuriates me.
I mean, that's the thing. Like, as a human being who follows football, you should understand that Ezekiel Elliott has more value to the Dallas Cowboys than Dak Prescott. That's just logic.
Considering
one was drafted in the first round and one was drafted in the 4th round.
Dude,
also.
All these Colin Cowherd, Skip, Stephen A. all say they shouldn't, pay Zeke. Meanwhile, Shannon Sharp, Michael Irvin say they should pay Zeke. Those are the two guys that played professional football.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
It's obvious from when he's been out from all this, like, speculation of his suspension and stuff. Sorry, I'm getting high already.
Stay on the weed.
Stay on the weed.
No,
but I just think, like, it's silly to even speculate. Like, we've seen this happen a million times. This always happens every summer. These guys get fucking hard for it, and then there's always a holdout.
Yeah.
And it's just like it becomes a storyline. And it's like at some point you just got to recognize that it's not any special it's a guy trying to get his money, you know?
Yeah,
and he's going to get it. Zeke's going to get his money.
Yeah, for sure. Whether it's this summer or next summer or whatever.
And then, do you think that'll be the point of contingency then for Skip Bayless? He'll go on and be like, I always said you don't pay Zeke. You shouldn't have paid Zeke. He'll just harp on that forever every time he fumbles the ball or something. That's probably his whole life.
Yep.
That's what a sad, sick existence.
Thank you. Josh is really nailing this.
You know
I love it. I love it. No, yeah.
He just waits for people to fail, and he's like, I was right. And then when they succeed, he's like, they will fail. Because eventually everyone does.
Well, yeah. But can you imagine, when your main thing is that LeBron James sucks? That you have to wait for LeBron to fail.
And he will.
That's not an easy job.
The sad part is he will play long enough to fucking suck at some point. And he'll have sucky moments. So it's then you're validated. It's so phony and garbage. I mean, God bless him for, I guess, making money off this. This is insane.
But
you know? It's insane. You know how much money he has?
Oh, no, he's doing all right.
Because of this kind of thing? It's so crazy.
But
we figured out the formula. We should just do it.
I think we're approaching it. I think let's switch over into I brought up LeBron. Let's get into LeBron stuff. This was on the Skip Bayless. I really get so angry when I think about this shit. So LeBron James was in a layup line for his son's team.
Oh yeah, I love
Have you heard
those
about
videos.
this?
I watched the videos.
Yeah,
Me and Tom watched them on the bus and laughed our ass
hell
off.
yeah!
It was so much fun, dude.
And Skip,
that was hilarious,
dude.
I think LeBron is silly for doing that, but it's so hilarious.
I don't Skip Bayless was saying it was embarrassing, but I think it's
it wasn't embarrassing, but it was what are you doing?
I just think
let your son play the game, dude.
I just think he's giving his son's kids or his son's friends story forever. You know what I mean?
That's true. And here's where I because I went back and forth. Watching it, it's so absurd. It's the layup line.
And
he's dunking, not only just windmill dunking, and then he went back again and threw it against the backboard and slammed it, and then he went again, and then did one where he threw it in the air and alley-ooped himself or something. It was ridiculous, and I was this is his kid's game. His kid's probably come on, Dad, can you just watch with the rest of the parents? You know what I'm saying? So there's that element, but at the same time, maybe he's got. I tried to rationalize it by saying maybe he's got an agreement with his kid where he's hey, you want to be on ESPN? Dude, there's only one way you're going to get on ESPN. You want me to get you on ESPN? Yeah. He's I'll just celebrate like a lunatic, and they'll put it on ESPN. And then your play will be on ESPN. If that's the way, I think LeBron's smart enough to know that and act this way in order to let his son shine and have his team have a moment. You know what I'm saying? They get to be on ESPN now.
I think it's just 100% all of everybody on that team is this is the coolest thing that's ever fucking happened to me.
I'm sure
all the time.
We would all, anybody who was present for that loved it.
Yeah.
There's no way you can't.
I think it's
one of the greatest basketball players ever is just fucking around with your kids' team. Even if you're on the other side, you're I don't know if I know you're gonna lose, but this is pretty sweet. You know what I'm saying? You tell your kid that.
It's hard because any attention you can give your kid is great, but at the same time you want them to be their own thing. But for Skip Bayless to be that's embarrassing. He's a piece of shit. Fuck LeBron James. He's a monster. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I mean, and here's the other part of it that you go well, what are you accusing him of? Exploiting his son or something like that?
Yeah.
Not letting his son have a moment? Well, guess what? You're magnifying that by about 17 bazillion % because you're putting it on ESPN right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So who's really benefiting from it, him or you?
It's just weird. That shouldn't be a topic for that show to just shit on that when there's other things you could talk about right now.
It's so funny that I mean, we're talking about it, and I know other comedy sports podcasts address the LeBron thing and stuff like that, and that's all that these shows are trying to do, but they don't do it in a comedy way. They're not doing it in a lighthearted way, hey, isn't this wild that LeBron's just dunking at his kids' game? They're going at it so serious where it's the end of the world. It's oh my God, LeBron,
dude,
what an evil man, you know, and they try to sell it it's serious, and we're all who gives a shit, you know what I'm saying? Or they're the other way around, where they're he's such a great player, the best of all time. It's all so serious and wildly there's all these proclamations and stuff. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And if they just took themselves less seriously, we probably wouldn't hate these people as much. You know?
This might make you want to kill somebody. We're kind of doubling back to something you were bringing up earlier. But Skip Bayless is arguing right now, switching subjects. Another take. He is saying that he has an unhealthy obsession with Tom Brady as well, to where it's borderline,
yeah, he just loves sucking that guy's
Josh
dick.
was doing,
I hate Tom Brady. I wish I could do
I hate Tom Brady as well.
God, I fucking
but
hate him.
he is arguing that, and you were, he was arguing that he is in the best shape of his life. And
he might be.
And that's what's crazy. Yeah. I didn't know what you were saying earlier, which was
I've been watching camp footage.
Faster.
Yeah, they've been bragging about it in his camp footage that he's getting faster, which is wild. I want to rip my brains out of my skull. I've been dealing with 2 decades of Brady Belichick. Can the man decline like everyone else? I watched Brett Favre decline. Bills linebacker Arthur Moats sacked Brett Favre from behind, like on this blind side, and just ended his start streak.
Yeah.
I watched a Titan come down because of the Bills and one of their Tom Brady just keeps going and going, and it's like, I respect it, whatever.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I fucking hate him, and I want it to fucking end. I can't believe they just won the Super Bowl again.
Yeah.
Like, when they're in the Super Bowl and they lost to
Atlanta?
the Giants, and then the Atlanta one pissed me off. I know.
Yeah, they won.
But then they lost to Philadelphia. I was like, here we go, finally.
Yeah.
A little bit of a decline. But no, and then you see him on this fucking training camp stuff, and he is still looking good. I don't know what they're doing to him. He's eating babies.
Here's the thing, though, man.
We're gonna find out that he fucks babies to get their spirits.
I assume yes, that was
something evil. I hope.
If they've been caught cheating this many times,
yeah, he's doing
why
something.
is Tom Brady an exception to that? You know what I mean? He was throwing his phone away during that whole trial for the inflated footballs.
See, all that shit gets it's all convoluted in the fact where I just say to myself, physically, he has to deplete soon, and he's just not. And it's
right.
I hate that he plays for that fucking team, the fucking Patriots, and then he has Belichick. And so Belichick has been so smart to just protect him all these years, so he really doesn't have a lot of wear and tear. There was that one year where he got fucking injured by Kevin Pollard from the Kansas City Chiefs, snapped his fucking leg or whatever, and we got to watch Matt Castle guide them to a wild card berth, and it was that's what would happen, I guess, if you don't have Tom Brady. But why is he so good? He was a 6th round pick. He was such a fucking mess. It's the Brady Belichick understanding. It's their brains are like a kaiju in Pacific Rim, and you break that up, and they're both not as good. And it was just a lucky thing that they came together and they just fucking mind melded each other.
Yeah.
And we'll never see it again, and they'll never see it again, which is the best part of it all.
I don't understand why more teams don't copy what they're doing.
It's hard because it's literally special, That's
it's a perfect storm.
It pains me to say it's just the combination of the way Belichick operates.
They're just good at cheating.
And Brady being in a system where Belichick look what Josh McDaniels wasn't around.
Right.
Also, they struggled a little bit more. They maybe didn't win the Super Bowl those years.
But do you really maybe he is? It sounds like you're saying he's a little bit faster, but do you really think overall
he
he's
says
in
he is? I don't know. We won't know until we see. But this is the reports coming out of camp.
I feel like you can't be.
I feel like he was so slighted. He watches every time they bring up 6th round pick Tom Brady, greatest quarterback of all time. 6th round pick though. Here's his combine footage, and they show his fucking 40 that was atrocious, and he is the type of guy that's so petty that he then was I'm just gonna get faster. He's I can't get any slower than that.
Yeah, it doesn't take much to get faster than that. You know what I mean?
It's not a market difference, I guarantee. But I'm sure he's a little bit more mobile than he used to be.
Yeah, maybe, but
I don't want to defend the man.
No. Skip saying that he's in the best shape of his life. I just think
that's a wild.
I just
thing
turned
to say,
40.
Yeah.
He's turning 42.
Yeah, that's a wild.
I
thing
think
to say.
that's insane to
he's
be
in his
when he was
season.
Yeah, when he was 25, he wasn't in better shape than he is now.
But at the same time, he also was a 6th round pick who was just some dump body. And we live in a world where when the massively wealthy can do things to their
body. They can fuck babies to get better.
Regress in age. And so he also has a supermodel wife. He's not just Brett Favre where he's like, I just in the off season I go down to Mississippi, I fly fish, and I have a few Miller Lights. This guy won't eat a strawberry.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he's a fucking psychopath, and I wish he was not alive anymore. I fucking hate him. No, but I respect him and all that, whatever.
Yeah, no, I don't respect him.
The Bills also have been like not giving exactly a good effort at like challenging him through all this time, but like it's just a wild dichotomy of them being in such a great position and us being in such dark days that finally we're rising out.
God, I hope you guys fucking take
Ryan Fitzpatrick beat Tom Brady, and I was like, Ryan Fitzpatrick will always be one of my favorite quarterbacks of all time. Talk about a fucking guy. Iron Man style. How about that guy? He's on the Dolphins now. He's going to beat Josh Rosen out. Yeah. You know he's going to beat him out in camp. He's going to go in preseason, and they're going to be like, we got to start Ryan Fitzpatrick. And Josh Rosen's going to be like, are you fucking kidding me right now?
Despite all this, I think there is going to be Max Kellerman on First Take talks about this. There is going to be a cliff. And he's laughed about with this, like that.
But he says that every time, and I want him to be right.
I do too.
They just won the fucking Super Bowl. Like we gotta. This is the part where I get angry at Max Kellerman because he becomes like, he starts gaslighting me.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like they always say this every year. They'll probably lose 3 out of 5 games to start the season.
Right.
And everyone will be like, it's over.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden they'll win 6 games.
That's the thing every season with the Patriots where I'm like, they're going to figure it out. I'm not worried. But I feel like Breeze was declining at the end of last year.
Dude, it has to happen.
At some point,
is a thing.
You saw it happen with Peyton Manning. Like it was like so sudden. And that's just going to be a thing with Brady too. I don't care how many babies he fucks. Yeah.
I pray every day that happens.
Oh, I'm going to fart.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah, that was... Oh, God, why did I do that to myself?
Dude, I pray... You have no idea. I've been saying that and praying for that every day since
the
2009. Yes, the fart specifically. But the Tom Brady declines. And then they go to the Super Bowl. I couldn't believe it last year when they beat the Rams in the Super Bowl. I was like, are you fucking... This is really happening again?
Yeah.
I was so just dejected, dude.
I'm fucking over them. I'm done with it, and I hope he falls off that cliff very soon. I'm going to time out for just a second, and we'll be right back. Sorry, I was just trying to make Josh come. I
peed.
Yeah, you did pee. There was a liquid. That's good. Moving on to the next subject. Will Cain, are you familiar with Will Cain really at all?
I'm not sure.
He is the new Skip Bayless at ESPN. He's like the young Skip Bayless, but kind of racist. He's horrible. I kind of just summed him up in a nutshell perfectly. He's just he's a horrible.
He's racist.
Yeah, he always has like.
That'd be wild if he's like blatantly. He's like.
It's kind
what
of.
What does he say?
It's he just he'll take the side that a racist would take.
Oh, so like. I think if you kneel for the anthem, it's
there you go.
Disrespectful to the flag.
Yeah. but he's doing this shit all the time to where it's like so often that he's like, why does everybody think I'm racist? But then he'll still take this side.
Yeah.
And there are even things where it's like,
if you're gonna wear a gold chain, expect to get robbed.
Yeah. That's Will Cain in a nutshell.
I don't even know this person.
Oh God,
I'm just gonna start saying all his things.
And this might paint a better picture. He played.
Keep it in your pants. Like stuff.
He played water polo in college.
Oh Jesus!
So yeah, that's his big like tie into the sports world. But anyway, Will Cain also. So he really like when Skip Bayless left. I think there was this gap of like we need this Cowboys lover. Like to take the opposite side.
It wasn't Max Kellerman.
It wasn't. He likes the Giants. Stephen A. Smith likes the Giants, so there's that. So they found this young guy that takes pretty much all the same takes as Skip Bayless, but he also is like super like crazy, weird racist. But anywho,
he's just like very red pilling everybody.
Yeah, he talks about like his politics. It's weird. Wild. Like it gets weird. But he this week, so he's another again embarrassing Cowboys fan. He was talking to Dan or what's Orlovsky, right?
Yeah, the old
Lions
backup quarterback.
But he's a great sports
analyst.
Yeah, he's awesome. And
famously helicoptered, by the way, when he was on the Houston Texans at the end zone. Do you remember that when Dan Orlovsky got
I did not see that.
He dove into the end zone and got whoosh, got switched around and shit. Famous helicopter.
Oh, we're watching that right after this.
Yeah.
But
I believe that was him.
But Will Cain, who loves the Cowboys like I do, but defends Dak in a way that I like Dak, but the jury's still out for me. I want to see him do better.
Does he know Dak's black?
Yeah, that's what's confusing. Yeah. I'm surprised that he it's weird. Both Skip Bayless and Will Cain gave up on Dak Prescott last year before Amari Cooper.
Yeah.
And there's even a video of Skip Bayless throwing away a Dak Prescott jersey, and then Amari came. They were like, I'm done with Dak, and then they famously came back. And that's the whole point of this podcast is I want to hold these assholes accountable. Yeah. Will Cain asked Dan Orlovsky a comparison that he thought to Dak Prescott, and he said Joe Flacco. And he said that was a compliment. And I think that's actually not a bad comparison because Joe Flacco kind of needed a perfect team to get to the Super Bowl, and he won. And I think that's kind of the way.
It's a terrible comparison to describe their attributes.
Their way of play. Yeah, I get that. But I think
they couldn't be more different.
Yeah. Dak's more aggressive physically and that kind of thing. But I don't think it's a terrible. As far as tiers of quarterbacks, I think it's about right.
Yeah.
But then Will Cain, jokingly but furiously said, "Get off my show," and then he was joking. But then he also, when asked later, when pressed for it, what his comparison was, he said Tom Brady.
What?
Yeah.
I would have said Case Keenum.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's where I put him. He's Tyrod Taylor. If you put Tyrod in that spot, I bet Tyrod would dominate on the on the Cowboys.
I think on the last show we tried to do where does Dak fit in? Andy Dalton, in that range.
Yeah, but if you're trying to get a guy that's a little bit mobile more than he has arm strength, that's what I say Dak is. Am I wrong? I mean, he's more of an inventor than he is a.
He is a crunch time guy, but it's because he doesn't have to do anything the whole game because Zeke is doing everything.
Right.
And then when he needed to step up, he's like, all right, I'll do my three things.
I'll throw it to Jason Witten.
Yeah. Witten's back.
He's back. That's crazy.
He's 106 years old.
That's crazy. He's still going to catch. I'm going to draft him in fantasy football because he's going to catch 70 passes.
Yeah. He took a year off, so that means he's even slower.
Well, he spent all that time incubating in the Monday Night Football booth where he said nothing intelligent. So I think he's fine, Yeah,
it's funny that Tony got so good and Jason Witten got so bad.
I bet they would be great together. I thought about that. Tony gets to a point where he's but they're both analysts, so it'd have to be a 3-man booth. You'd still need Jim Nantz in there or something,
Yeah. We're going to do a few quick takes.
We get to do takes?
Some dumb shit. Yeah, we can get in here a little bit, but this is just dumb shit I've been thinking about that bothers me.
I'm going to make mine real racist towards Jews, like that guy.
Oh, yeah, the more the better. And this is we've kind of talked about this already, but Colin Cowherd. I
hate him the most out of all of them.
I think he's fine. I think he's kind of cocky in a weird way, but overall, a lot of his takes I'm fine with. He's not as hot take-ish.
No, but he's so dad and
yes,
so get
that's
off
what
my
we're gonna
lawn.
Get into.
I fucking hate him. I always hated him. He was on radio in our market, and I always hated listening to him. And I love what Baker Mayfield's done.
Oh, yeah, he's very anti-Baker. Yeah.
Because he's so anti-Baker. And I love guys like Baker. I love Johnny Manziel. Sorry, I really did. I wanted him to succeed. He failed, whatever. But Baker
Johnny
Mayfield,
Manziel,
I like Baker too. I like a guy that's a cocky.
I didn't like Baker. I was kind of the same as Coward. But and not in that same sense. It was just
I wish the Bills, out of all those quarterbacks that were in that draft, I wanted Baker Mayfield. I did not think he would go number 1 overall.
Oh, for sure. Nobody thought that.
Yeah, and so when he did, I was like, well, fuck, I guess we're not going to get him. And then I wanted to kill myself at first when we got Josh Allen. I remember I told you that. I said I'll throw myself off the U.S. Bank building.
I remember that.
Because I didn't want him. But then I I don't know what happened. Like, he became the quarterback, and now I look like I said I will admit I was wrong, and I do, because now looking back, out of all those quarterbacks, out of Darnold and Rosen, and even Baker, I like Josh Allen the best. I think he's the best one, and he suits Buffalo the best. He's really
he's going to get 4,000 rushing yards next season.
That's fine.
It's awesome. But like
also Lamar Jackson was another one I wanted, but
I love Lamar.
Yeah, he's great.
Coward though, like in the Zeke, contract debate, said that him and Mark Schlereth, which surprised me, especially because Shannon Sharp and Irvin took his side, or took the player side.
And Schlereth was a running back. Am I wrong?
No. He was the offensive lineman.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
But Coward said that Zeke has no leverage because he's like 2 years out. But that's insane to me because when Zeke doesn't play, they don't fucking win. So he has all of the leverage.
Yeah, he has all of the leverage
because this is
he could pull a Le'Veon Bell.
Yeah.
And then when his contract's up, go play somewhere else, and then they don't have him at all.
Right.
And we're going to watch them crumble if that's the case, right? I mean,
I think
Alfred Morris is cool and stuff, but I don't know who else they got in your backfield, but they're not
got
Zeke.
A third rounder. Yeah, no, there's definitely not we're preparing for that slowly, but we're not there yet. And then this is another quick thing. I don't know if you've noticed that you said you don't really watch Skip's new show Undisputed, but
and I haven't had cable in 2 years.
Yeah, and a lot of it, I will just listen to the podcast a lot of times to, see what dumb shit's coming out of his mouth, but, or, go on Twitter. But, if you do watch clips, they've been doing this new thing with the camera angles where it's very, it's like a fucking Jerry Bruckheimer, kind of,
really?
Going around the table and, hey, this is... We're only talking about the three same things every fucking day, so we got to make this exciting. And
what do they do in July? Do they talk about the Mets and how they're just a nightmare?
They don't talk baseball ever,
really?
Which is they just go from NBA free agency, the finals.
There was
free
a lot
agency.
to talk about in that, I guess.
Oh no, it was insane.
Yeah.
But then training camps open, and then here we get the floodgates are about to open.
Yes,
but
you're right.
I just thought it was so funny that
August 8th is the first preseason game.
I think it's next. I think it's in a few days.
Yeah, that's a week. It's about to be the first, right? The end of this week. So then it's not this weekend, but next weekend.
Yeah.
Right.
It might actually be before that. I think there's one. The Hall of Fame game
Hall of
is
Fame game's this weekend.
I think so. Yeah.
Oh man, I love football.
I can't fucking wait.
I'm so excited.
So now I want to talk about a couple the embarrassments of the week. I'll call it. One.
Okay.
You were just talking about Colin Cowherd being such a uncool dad.
Yeah. He's like a stepdad.
Yeah. And he is
want to bust your chops for
Yeah.
I caught you smoking at school or something, and you're like, oh, fuck you, bro. Get the fuck out of here. You're Larry, whatever his name. You call him Colin.
Come on,
Shut up, Colin, you fucking asshole.
But he was talking about how it was this weird thing throughout a show. He would bring up, I'm going to this Keith Urban concert, really kind of
course.
Oddly, bragging about it.
Yeah.
And it's he's trying, and all these guys try to be hip about this shit and, drop names, and it's but sometimes they'll also talk about the Andy Griffith show, and you're like, dude,
shut up.
If you're trying to get fucking young listeners, what are you doing? But
that's his whole thing is back in my day, we used to have paper routes, and we didn't talk to women the way that you talk to women now, stuff like that, or whatever the fuck they were they're fucking. I hate those guys, dude. That's why I like Rome, because he's just the same thing. He's clones, what's up? He just talks about and it's, every now and then he gets a little pious, but whatever. That's just Rome being Rome.
Yeah. Are you talking about Jim Rome?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's move on to that. Will Cain, this is maybe a week and a half ago. Will Cain was talking to, I think, Ryan Hollins, and they're being introduced, and they talk smack before they get started with a topic or whatever.
That's so bizarre. I don't know who this guy is at all, and I love him for some reason. I want to watch him.
Oh God,
this right wing I'm gonna
play
I'm making a character in my brain over him.
I'm gonna play you some shit afterwards. He reminds me of what was it, Basketball Bitch or whatever,
the
bitch
character. I don't want to
character.
see him for real because I've created this in my brain.
I'm gonna force it on you.
Okay.
Yeah, Squeak from basketball.
Squeak,
Do you remember?
yeah, Bitch Squeak.
Yeah, or
I don't know who that is, but I was called that a lot in high school. I swear,
do you remember Billy Madison, the main bad guy?
Oh,
the
yeah,
little weasel?
Like the guy that was on West Wing.
Yeah,
I forget his real name.
Yeah, it reminds me of that guy. But anyway, hey, I want to get into so I was talking to Josh about this like before we like started recording, but I like to go into like embarrassing social media shit on the show a little bit, and Skip Bayless in particular. Usually I try to find like the funniest like tweets at him, and I think it's always so funny to like give people credit. And like,
do you think he reads them?
I think for sure he says that he doesn't. He doesn't follow. He has 0 followers. Like he follows 0 people.
Following 0.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's such a douche
for
move.
like a moment he followed Tony Romo and Des Bryant, and then he was like, I give up on those guys. He's such a fucking douche.
Des Bryant, what happened, man? Where's he?
I hope he gets
a team.
I hope he gets a fucking.
The Giants should fucking sign him right now.
I know.
They just lost 3 receivers.
I know. He might get a chance this season, but
that would be dope if he was on the Giants. That'd be crazy.
So yeah, usually I like to like cover like these insane tweets at him because people can be so funny. But like, and there is this Ernestine Bayless like fake account that's like ridiculous.
Oh, that's
it's pretty
favorite,
great. Like,
yeah.
But Skip Bayless himself posts some really horrible, like meaning like he doesn't know he's making fun of himself, but he's making easy targets.
It's like almost like a parody.
Yeah, and so like we were talking about this before we got started, but like you wanted to look at it, and I was like, no, I want to hear your real reaction. But
okay.
So here he's boasting about the car he just got, which that's cool and all, but that's it's a nice car.
Jeez.
But
should I read the caption?
I mean, you can't, but
I just got the very last ZR1 made. Beastly 755 horsepower, stick shift, cowboy wheels by coincidence. Thanks to Chevy, folks at Bowling Green, Kentucky. I'm going to hit more. I don't know.
I mean, that's good. Like, but the point is, like...
But yeah, like, great dad. Thanks.
It's like, but it's just, like, weird that, like...
A flex post?
Yeah, it feels very much... And speaking of flex, like... a lot of his...
He'd be the first guy to criticize an athlete who was like, I bet, I don't know what his take was on Jalen Ramsey showing up to Jacksonville's camp in the Brinks truck, but I'd be like, how about some class? Something like that. Like,
but like a lot of his picks are shit like this where he's flexing.
Ew, I don't like that.
Yeah, right?
That's very bizarre.
He's like 67, I think.
I mean, he looks great for his age.
Oh, no, he's like in great shape.
That's what rich old guys do, though. Like, who was it also? There was an actor that was doing that where he was just like taking shirtless photos.
Oh, no, there's some of that. But like the whole point is, I feel like that feeds back into like his ego so big that I think he believes a lot of this shit. I think like if he didn't believe it, he wouldn't say it because he wouldn't want to be attacked like he is.
Well, like I said, I think he convinces himself of the shit.
I
don't know that he goes into. I think he goes into something going like, "What's the play here?" And then he like goes like, "Well, that makes sense because this or that." Like it's the same thing. Like I said with Roger Ailes, he would be like, "I want to convey this certain point of view, and here's the ways that I will come up with to validate those things." Yeah,
but I don't know. I just feel like.
So then you can't call him a liar, but then you can't like.
It's inexcusable to like. Yeah, like it's inexcusable to though like post those kind of like flex. Like who the fuck is? I mean, there are people like that post those pictures.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's wild that he would post those types of things, and then I guarantee the first time like this is a wild like. Just me saying a player, I has nothing to do with anything. I don't know what he thinks of this player, but like, say Juju Smith-Schuster posts like a photo of him like buying a car or something, it'd be like, is this really an intelligent way to spend your rookie contract or whatever? You know what I'm saying? Like that kind of thing. So it's like,
and I posted one like this was so stupid, but I posted one workout picture of me working out, and I hate when people do that. but it was because I farted like in the video, and I thought it was so funny that like I was like lifting heavy weights while farting, and I was like, that'd be funny. That's my crowd.
I'm gonna try. I want to like make a certain amount of money before I start like bettering myself because I just feel like I don't have the money to do that, and it takes money to do that. I really agree with that theory.
Yeah,
that if you're rich, that's why Tom Brady is like
he fucks babies.
He's so rich.
Yeah.
If you're rich, you can live as long as you want. I really feel like that.
Yeah.
Unless you have some sort of disease or something.
Yeah.
So I'm going to start doing yoga, and I imagine my farts will be... I should just record those. That's a good one.
That was
God
me.
Damn, blasting them. You just got back from Texas, so...
And
those are some Texas farts.
Yeah, I got back from Texas. I got a lot built up. But hey, we're gonna move on to. This is so stupid. I don't know how to name segments or move on yet.
That's
We're
cool.
finding the way.
Give me what it is. I'll name it.
I'm saying it's called Prick Picks. It's just like predictions.
Prick Picks? Dick Picks?
Yeah, Prick Picks. No, not
okay.
pictures of their dicks, but that all
Frank
makes
Gore just came out of the Bills. Best dick in NFL football, if you ask me. Have you ever seen the Frank Gore gifs?
No.
Oh God, we got to look those up.
Oh man.
Frank Gore. His dong, back when he was on the 49ers, I remember just like seeing like, the pylon cams when they come in. You just see they show slow motion and his dick's just wagging. I mean, if you just Google folks out there right now, Frank Gore dick, you'll see gifs that will just blow your mind.
The last episode, I think, was like,
He's a Hall of Famer.
Maybe the first episode was like subtitled "Frank Gore is the best." So that's that all fits together.
I'm gonna pull one up while
you're
explaining this segment.
But anyway, it's predictions that these idiots have made, and I want to like get through this stuff pretty quickly.
Yeah, please, yes. It's like a lightning round of their.
Yeah. But so Will Cain.
Do we decide if they're like fair or? If
fair or foul, and we make our own predictions based off that. But Will Cain predicted that by the end of the season, Dak Prescott will be a top 10 quarterback.
In the league?
Yeah, I am a Cowboys fan. I do not believe that at all.
Okay, so I don't want to make this long or anything, but like rank the people that you think will be ahead of him.
We did that last week, but
I'm sorry, okay.
But like I'll do it again. I mean, off the top of my
Here's
head.
Frank Gore's dick, by the way, flopping.
Okay, so now I'm live watching Oh my God!
He's got a hammer, dog.
I think that's why his name is Frank Gore.
Dude, look at that! Look at that shit! Just fucking. God damn, Hall of Famer and a dick like that. I'm so happy he's on the Bills.
And he's 68 years young. God,
I don't care. He's going to end his career on the Bills.
He's the
in
best.
One way or another.
He's the fucking best. I love it.
He's telling Josh Allen, like, I knew Troy Smith. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
I've been around for a million years. So, I'm sorry.
So
picks.
He
predicts that the top 10 quarterbacks.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I mean, like, he could be.
Collectively.
Who's the receiver core for the Dallas Cowboys at the moment?
Amari Cooper.
Oh, my God. I can't forget him. Yeah.
God, what's his name? Gallup.
I like him a lot. Did you draft somebody?
We got
And you got Jason Witten back.
Yeah.
If this is the year for Dak, I'm gonna sound real sports right now. Ready? You guys ready for this?
Yeah.
I'm gonna sound like a real sports guy. This is the year that Dak needs to prove himself. He's going into a contract year. No, I mean, are they gonna pay him?
He doesn't want to take a discount, so like it's supposedly like we're gonna give him all the money.
This is the year he decides, though.
I think we should fucking wait till at least mid-season to see what he fucking does.
But not if they can get him for a discount because his stats are so low.
Yeah, absolutely.
His stats are pretty mediocre at this point.
Yeah, he gets sometimes like under 200 yards.
Yeah, and
when
he was
most
drafted,
quarterbacks are getting 500.
And his draft value was so low.
Yeah.
That it's not like Russell Wilson where he can be like, I won a Super Bowl and you drafted me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He didn't do anything.
Right.
He took him to one playoff appearance.
Yep.
So it's like he might be
two now, yeah.
Two, I'm sorry. Yeah, he might be like
Yeah.
overvalued and because of those. Like he might get a little boost.
Right.
But he's not like going to get Russell Wilson money.
Yeah.
He's not even going to get like fucking Kirk Cousins money.
Right.
I don't.
I don't know, man.
I wouldn't give him that.
He's at least taking the chance
Do
that,
you still
that
have
he is.
Brandon Whedon behind him? By the way,
No,
I think I saw
don't
him
know
at
where
training
he is
camp.
now. No.
Okay, no, I thought I saw number 3 ginger back there at training camp this week in Oxnard, California.
No.
And I was like, is Brandon Whedon still on that fucking team?
Dude, I would go to Oxnard with you if you want to go.
Dude, it's there. I found out
an
they're
hour
in
away.
Oxnard, and who's in Irvine? The Rams.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. They're all around us.
But long story short,
sucks.
Yeah. Do you think Dak is going to be a top 10 quarterback by the end of the year?
Well, what I was getting to, I'm sorry, is that the fact that I think that I was trying to find out his weapons.
Yeah.
Amari Cooper's a big one. If Zeke plays, he could be. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, he did well last year.
It depends how the machine around him operates. Like, if he top 10, like, what does that even really mean statistically? Like touchdowns or yards, or does that mean like just in terms of wins?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I think the Cowboys could make some damage. You know, especially in that division.
I think so too, and that is a thing where
the fucking Giants are nothing. The Eagles kind of like are like shocked to the system right now. Like Wentz.
I think they'll still be great, but
the Eagles are your competition because the Redskins
are,
they got a new quarterback in Haskins.
I don't think they'll do anything.
Alex Smith is
but
done.
I don't think. I think Prescott's in the 15 range ish.
Yeah,
maybe lower.
Maybe the top 20. Yeah, 15. That's a good point. I mean, I'm trying to go through my head like the top 10. I mean, he's going to be better than the Dolphins. I mean, like I'm trying to think of the people that there's so many teams. You know what I'm saying? I think he could very well, if he does do it, that would be like impressive. I'm not going to make that call. You know what I'm saying? I hope Josh Allen's in the top 20. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really do.
Man, I hope for you. I think of you when I think of the Bills, and I hope for you that Josh Allen can put his shit together.
Dude got new receivers. He had no weapons last year.
Yeah, no, he doesn't have much. His defense is actually...
Now we got Cole Beasley, your boy.
Yeah.
He's gonna He's going to catch like 1,000 passes from Josh Allen.
Another quick take. Skip says New England versus Dallas in the Super Bowl. I
disagree.
You know, it's an easy take to say New England.
Yeah, that's silly.
But Dallas. But he also says that if that were to happen, he would celebrate that New England is going to win, and he would celebrate on.
There's no way Dallas is going to the Super Bowl. I'm sorry to say that in front of you.
No. Hey, man, I get it. Jason Garrett's still the coach, and I don't know about Dak Prescott.
You got the Rams. You got fucking...
I want to see a few games first.
Yeah, you got to see a few games, obviously.
But
like, you got so much on that NFC side that can beat
it's
them.
Stacked.
And then, I mean, like, New England's obviously, like...
They have an easier path.
Yeah, but they got the Chiefs. I mean, Mahomes is getting more comfortable. The Chiefs are going to be good.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Tyreek Hill's back. Like, they lost Kareem Hunt or whatever. It's crazy how that offense just like disintegrated because of abuse to their spouses. You know, the Chiefs, man. The Chiefs have such a wild player history. How about that Javon Belcher? You know who that is?
Which one?
He's the guy
Was that the guy with the belt?
He's the guy that murdered his wife or girlfriend or whatever, and then went into the training facility and shot himself in the head like 4 years ago.
Yeah,
or something
that's
like
my
that.
dad. Good guy.
Linebacker Javon Belcher.
Oh, I remember that.
The most wild football story in the history of time, and no one ever talks about it. What happened there? No one.
Yeah, it was a very quick. Oh, this happened, and we move on.
Yeah,
the NFL buried it for sure.
It got buried. It's such a wild story. A murder-suicide on the facility? What?
Yeah, and
fuck OJ, dude. We're talking about OJ.
That should really, really
why
open up
why
the.
What's Skip Bayless take on that? I want to know that. You know.
He probably thinks that that was an overrated suicide. I don't know.
God, Andy Reid really just swept it under the rug. He knew what he was doing. Andy Reid's a G.
It's probably Goodell,
Yeah, Goodell
taking
helped.
care of that.
Andy Reid's a G, though. You know, he's like an old guard.
Sorry, getting way back to...
My bad, I'm a tangent guy.
No. It's so easy to do because it's so fun to just fucking...
Yeah.
That's the problem is like...
Trying to make jokes or whatever. And like, I don't know.
No. Skip Bayless said that when New England wins versus Dallas in the Super Bowl, he's going to celebrate on their sideline. On the New England sideline, like celebrate with them.
Well,
which to me, it's like you're not a fucking Cowboys fan if you do that.
That's a piece of shit thing to say.
That's a bitch move.
Yeah, that's a bitch. As Cowboy Nation, they should skewer him, I feel like.
I think that's saying...
You're not a fan. That's basically declaring you're not a fan.
Yeah, I think that just declares his fertile
and then
love
he just
for
becomes
Tom Brady.
a phony because it's like...
Yeah.
ew, like, then what are you? You know
Also,
what I mean? You're just, like, burning every bridge to whatever you have. It's like, he's trying to be like a bad guy wrestler where he's like, now I'm NWO. That's like my Hogan turn. But nobody will, like, there's no redeeming him from that point, you know? And maybe that's his job. Maybe that's his arc.
Right.
In his brain, where he's like, now I make the Cowboys fans hate me.
Yeah.
And I cash in on that. And then I just check out. And then I just become retired.
And by retired,
if he retires, do you have
dead.
a podcast still?
I don't know. We'll see. I think. Well, Will Cain's younger.
Will Cain.
Yeah. He's the new Skip Bayless.
I think I like that guy.
I can't wait. Oh yeah, no, I know what you mean. Yeah. I can't wait to fucking fill you in on that. So the last little segment here, I like to ask the guests what they think Skip Bayless's home life is like.
Boring as fuck. That's why he's on Twitter.
What do you think his life with his wife is?
You know comics who are on Twitter all the time, who are bored at home. You know what I mean? Picking fights with people. Not like just like a guy like Bert. I'm jealous of. That guy's like, he got a family. He's having so much fun. Like that kind of stuff. I'm like, ooh, here we go. Like that kind of stuff. I'm jealous of. I'm talking about the guys that are like fighting with like people with 4 followers on Twitter constantly.
Yeah.
That's Skip Bayless's life at home. He's just it's so benign. He's so bored.
Like, again, he claims...
Ernestine's like, I went
Yeah, what is that like? That's what I want
to know. Swap meet. I don't know what she does all day. You know what I mean? She probably is just... I played bingo with Judith. You know, I don't know what she's doing. Nothing fun.
Again, he has he follows 0 people.
He bought that dumb car that you showed me on Instagram. So
he has a dog, like a shitty dog.
Yeah, stupid like a poodle mix, right?
Yeah, it's like this weird long-haired, I don't know. It's
an old man dog.
Well, I feel like, again...
Who do you think's home life's better, Colin Cowherd or Skip Bayless?
I think Cowherd, for sure. I think...
One is very much elderly.
Yeah, I mean... I think Cowherd is at least like a young old. You know what I mean?
So what do you think Cowherd does? I think he just goes home and he tells his kids, like, don't you get in trouble.
Yeah.
Because it reflects on me.
Yeah, you know what bothers me about him? He always says the word always. He says always.
Always.
That bugs the fuck out of me. I don't know why.
I don't like anything about him.
I hate
him so fucking much. I want to slap his dumb face where he's just so sanctimonious about Bills fans too. He's like, Bills fans throwing each other through tables? I think the NFL wants to clean that up. And you're like, I want to mouth fuck you. Fucking psycho.
The next time you're on, we're going to have a special Colin Cowherd segment. It's going to be fucking great.
I fucking want to cave his skull in with a pickaxe.
Let's see if we can make
terrible. I shouldn't have said that on your podcast.
No.
You're trying to become mainstream. I'm talking about murdering him.
No. Let's make Josh come and make Josh murder Colin Cowherd.
Maybe that's what he wants to do, though. I don't want to give him the satisfaction of knowing that I have murderous rage towards him.
No, I think he understands. I don't think he's as bad as these other guys. I think it's sad when he's like, I'm going to... Keith Urban concert. Oh, by the way, that Keith Urban concert was like a private event. So it was like this other subtle, like I'm invited to this thing that other people can't get into.
It's a Live Nation party, everybody. I'm Colin Cowherd. I work for Fox Sports.
I bet they all have a very exclusive, awesome home life. I think Skip Bayless's home. Oh, I found out today that Skip Bayless, his wife Ernestine, who may or may not exist, her birthday is the same day as Tom Brady, which makes me wonder, again, if she does exist, because it feels like he, in his head, maybe is married to Tom Brady.
I think Skip Bayless puts a Tom Brady mask over Ernestine.
That's what I've been saying.
And then fucks her.
I said that on the last episode, I think.
And then shit. Then he takes it off and he puts a LeBron mask on and he goes, I'm going to fuck your ass now, Ernestine. And then he fucks LeBron. He goes, take it, LeBron, like he's fucking LeBron in the ass. Like he's owning LeBron. He's like, I'm gonna have a real hard take about you tomorrow. after he
the hardest take.
Yeah, and Ernestine's like, please stop. I don't like it anymore.
She's just like...
Or she's just basically like, can I buy a pony tomorrow? And he's like, yes. Wear the LeBron mask.
She fills out a crossword while that's happening.
Yeah.
Man, I think we...
That's a good place to end.
Anally
raping Ernestine as LeBron.
I think we're going to get a lot of hits.
Yeah. That's the clip right there. That's the promo.
Josh, where can people find you?
I'm on Instagram.
Perfect.
I don't got a car like Skip Bayless, but I'm at...
Well, you got some shows coming up.
I see what you're saying.
For the 4 people that are listening.
I'm going to be in Seattle on September 5th.
Hell yeah.
And Tacoma, September 6th, and Portland, September 8th. So if you're in any of those places, you can find the ticket link on my Twitter at @J_Potter. It's all there, right pinned to the top.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, doggy.
And I'll be in Boulder this Sunday, August 4th at the Beer Garden. And then Orlando... on the 9th and 10th, opening for Dan Cummins in San Francisco on the 14th. Got some other dates coming up. But
that's dope. Tell Dan I said what's up.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
And, dude, thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
That was so fun. And I'm going to show Josh a bunch of Will Cain clips here in a second. And we're going to have a good time. But, dude, you were awesome. This was so much fucking fun. I hope you're back soon.
Thank you.
We live, not far away from each other.
After a football game, I'll just walk over.
Yeah.
It's so close.
We can just have, Monday Night Football on in the background while we do the pod.
Yeah, that'd be great. We could do it right after.
Yeah, hell yeah. And, hey, thanks for listening, guys. Rate and subscribe. Tell your friends. Give any feedback. Tweet at us. All right. Have a good night. Later. Peace.